Hey, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain, and if you have an interest in swords and medieval history, then at some stage you've probably had a relative or a friend, for all the good intentions in the world, give you some mini swords. Now these are probably letter openers, but who actually has the whole desk set up these days to sit and open mail at? We tend to open such things on the go, or in my case in the car, and then compost them until I'm ready to deal with it. So today I'm going to show you how I go about displaying these swords. Now the first thing that I've done is I've gone through my scrap leather bins and cut two shapes. Now they're not the same, but that's alright. I'm doing two very different swords. I'm now going to focus on the workbench and show you what I do with it. Okay, now that I have this shape, I need to work out how I'm hanging it. Now my intention is to punch two holes in it there and there, which hopefully will show up on the black, yes. And then the sword will sit like this on the black piece, which means I need to put a slit or a slot into the piece there and there so I can put a band over it to slide the sword into. Now if I was just to make a full scabbard, I could hang the sword in the scabbard, but then you wouldn't be able to see it, and what's the point then? So similar with this piece, and don't forget you're always working on the back of your leather, never the front when you're putting marks on, because marks don't come off leather very happily. So once again I'm going to hang it with two holes so I can hang it square, or squarish, and then I need to put a slice in there and there, just wide enough for the leather to go through and hold it on. My next step after that is to punch holes all the way around it to put a leather thong decorative piece on, and that's just to help finish the edges. I have edged them with my edging tool, but putting the thonging around them will help it look just that little bit better. So I'm going to do that. No point you guys seeing me hammering all those holes, and I'll get back to you when I've done that. Okay, I've now punched the holes running around it, and I need to punch out these two slots. Now I don't have a slot cutter at the moment. It got lost or lent to somebody. So instead I'll use a small punch and punch the top and the bottom. On both sides. And now that I've got those holes punched, I'll use my knife just to cut the two slots in. This allows the top and bottom of the slots to be nice and rounded, and to not split your leather by a bad overcut. And that cough you heard in the background was my dog, who's just decided to come out and join us. Okay, and as you can see, that provides two slots that I can now cut a strip of leather to go through and glue on either side here, so on the front it'll hold the sword blade. So I'm going to cut that and glue it in and lace this up and show you how it looks. Okay, so this is pretty much the finished object now. The sword will slide in and out of that band, and with the band, as you can see, it's hanging out at the back like this. You can either put a rivet through either side or some stitches, or what I'm going to do to make it neat and tidy is just use a little bit of glue, and then this will hang on my cupboard with a couple of other swords. And that is a nice simple way to display these mini swords that people give you as presents. Okay, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain saying go out and make something.